Hey y'all. So I wanted to mention something that I know, I think in our culture, the African American culture, we don't think a lot about. I remember I was working one time at it was a place called Family School, and it was so great. But I'll talk to you about that a different time. But I was working with some women, and one of them brought her granddaughter to work one day, and we were having pancakes or waffles or something like that, and her granddaughter asked for some, and she told her no, she was going to give her eggs or she was going to give her toast or something like that. And she was like, because you know how things turn out when you eat syrup first thing in the morning. And I was like, what? Didn't i didn't i just thought, okay, that's just how they do things. But later in life, you hear it, but you don't take it seriously. And you hear people say, oh, don't get them kids so much candy, don't get those kids so much sugar. They're going to be bouncing off the walls, blah, blah, blah. Well, that is so true. That is so true. Sugar it makes you hyperactive. I mean, I'm trying not to get really um, detailed because I don't want the video to be too long, but um, what we feed our children has a lot to do with their ability to succeed. Point blank. You can believe it, you can not believe it, but if you have a child with special needs, their diet is critical. It is probably more important than the medication that they're prescribed. Their diet is critical. And one of the things that I was determined to do with Bryce was change his diet because I had done so much research on the primary colors, the yellow, the blue, and the red dyes that are in kids' food. And if you don't want to read the boxes and you don't want to go through all that, if the box is colored, then the food is colored. Period. The Fruit Loops, the Apple Jacks, the whatever it is, the mac and cheese, if it's orange, all of the colored food. If it's colored, it's dyed, and if it's dyed, it is chemical, and if it's chemical, it has a reaction. It causes a reaction in your child's brain. So if they already have issues with neurological things, speech, autism, all of that, be careful about what you give your kids. And so I follow this young lady. I won't give you any details because I don't want to expose her, but she's a fantastic autism mom of a little girl, and she shows you their day to day and all of that. And when you watch people do day to day, you see what they eat, where they go, how they play, all of that. She does a wonderful job. I'm sure I would be balled up in a corner somewhere if my child had autism. But often I see them go to fast food restaurants, and she, of course, gives her daughter the drinks from there, and like pancakes, waffles, all that kind of stuff. And every time I see it, I cringe. When they're home, I do see some healthy snacks, but I see regular snacks. Like, cause she's a little girl. I mean, she may be 10. She may in that area, but I want to reach out to her so badly and tell her about the effects of food dyes with kids. And certainly, if her kid stops eating food dye, she's not going to not have autism. However, it is proven, that the dye in food can change your mood, can cause cancer, can cause hyperactivity, can cause stomach problems. Kids are dying from just snacks, the hot snacks. I don't want to mention any particular label, I mean company, but look it up. I mean, it's real. It's a real thing. And so Bryce and I had a rough weekend. He was very snappy, emotional, like teenagerish. And I was like, what the hell is going on with him? We got to the bottom of it, but I immediately went to food because he was hanging out with his cousins. I let him eat more sugar than I usually let him eat. I also have let him have commercial snacks over the last 2 weeks because I was just wiped out. And I just thought, okay, because I don't give it to him often and he eats pretty good. But for the last 2 weeks, he has had things that he doesn't usually get. And so I thought that was the reason that he was acting so off. So I immediately, like for the last 2 days, he's had protein and salad for dinner because his cousins love mac and cheese. So I let him eat that with them. And it's not the mac and cheese that I make, it's like a box situation. And of course, he doesn't eat that often. So he was super excited. But I can see the difference in his mood when he eats things that he doesn't normally eat. I'm telling you, please, if you're my age, you probably aren't, you probably don't have little people, but for your grandchildren, there's going to be a fight because if you raise your kids on certain foods and then you try to take it away from them, be ready. But just know, just try to notice how they act when they have certain things. I mean, it's on the table at this point that sugar is going to make you hyper. And so if you have a child that stutters, stuttering is the brain moving faster than the mouth. The mouth is trying to catch up with your thoughts. And so that's why it's like whoa, 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 because that thought is stuck and they can't get it out. And so you add sugar to that, you're doubling the the energy and the confusion and all of that stuff. So just watch when you give your kids certain food, and see what happens. I'm not making this up. I am not making this up. I would give my son anything he wanted if I thought it was okay. But energy drinks, they change you. Protein shakes, they change you. They cut your appetite. They give you more stamina. Coffee, all of these things. It's a food. So if you eat it and it changes you, then imagine what foods are doing to little bodies, little 30, 40, 50, even 100-pound bodies. If you can take 2 pills and change a 200-pound body, just think of what a bowl of dye dyed cereal can do to a 100-pound body. Just please, just look, just check it out. Or don't change anything, just read about it. Or don't do any of that. But understand that we are not dying from hereditary diseases. We're dying from hereditary behaviors. If you eat like your grandparents ate and they died from heart attacks and strokes and high blood pressure and hypertension, you are doing the same. Not because they gave you the disease, they gave you the behavior. I'm telling you, please check it out. Check it out. Just check it out. Your kids are a little wacky when they've had a bunch of popsicles or even pancakes, even waffles, even corn dogs, even stuff that doesn't have syrup or sugar poured on top, but it is high carb. That's just sugar. They're going to act wacky. And you're probably so used to it now that you don't even see the difference. But I'm telling you, it's a thing. And if you're a special mom like I am, be careful about the things that you allow your kid to eat.